Okay, so we're going to stay in the pocket here. Very short and sweet with one of the iconic jazz records, jazz guitar records of the 1950s. This is Tal Farlow. This is absolutely one of his masterpieces. Tal with Bill Takis or Nobby Toda on bass, Jimmy Campbell on drums, and Eddie Costa, the virtuoso pianist, informing Tal harmonically on this record. There's not much to say about this record except that he's just hitting on all five burners on this record. Every aspect of his playing, the value that is Tal Farlow, is on this record. So his ballad playing, his tone, his phrasing, his attack, which did vary on some records. As much velocity as he did project on his records, some of them come off differently than others. Here it's perfection. His interpretations of the tunes are beautiful. His choice of material is beautiful. He's got Stella by Starlight, Lean on Me, All the Things You Are, How Long Has This Been Going On? Again, that's a change of pace from some of the other music because he's bringing it to a slower tempo, and you're hearing him in a more kind of melodious and lyrical bent than the more frenetic Tal Farlow. So, for those people who are into jazz guitar, it seems like we're doing a lot of jazz guitar records today. Keep your eye open for this record. I found this record about 20 years ago at Housing Works, when Housing Works was still putting out great records, and it was sitting right there for a few bucks. And it's a near mint copy, trumpeter label, Verve. Thank you. So here's one of the greatest female jazz artists of the earlier era. Mary Lou Williams is considered the iconic figure. However, Mary Osborne is akin to Mary Lou Williams as a guitar player. Mary Osborne came to Manhattan in 1937 at the age of 17. After hearing Charlie Christian at a medicine tent show at the age of 10 years old, Osborne, who had been playing violin, piano, and singing for a local radio station, became enamored and just beholden to, just taken under the spell of Charlie Christian. And although all the values of Charlie Christian are in her music, she is completely herself, totally inimitable, just a beautiful sense of time, phrasing, and swing in her playing, a beautiful tone. She's playing a big hollow body Gretsch. Many records. This one here is the desired, exalted, extremely rare record that she did on Warwick in 1959 while she was pregnant. She actually fainted in the studio while they were fixing her the cabling to her guitar amp. She was so nervous about making this record because she had so many opportunities to record, but they wanted to make her a commercial property, and she was adverse to that. She wanted to keep her own voice within her music, so she rejected almost all the recording opportunities solo that she had for the previous 10 years. That being said, she played on a number of 78s and 45s as a side woman on some amazing records. She rubbed elbows with Art Tatum, Count Basie, a number of the great musicians of that era. I mean, she was playing in the bars and the restaurants and the clubs throughout New York nightly, while she had a gig in the studios for a major radio and television station. So Mary Osborne, to me, is an iconic figure. She's an embodiment of a New York we romanticize about, because there's a freeness and a swing and a happiness to this music within the depth of her blues perception that make this music so enduring. And this is a valued record for me. I wanted to share it with you folks. It was never, the Japanese did a limited reissue of it maybe about 20 or 30 years ago. This originally came out on two covers. The first was not as beautiful a cover as this. I think when they realized they had something very special, they made this cover, and they gave her some hip huggers and put her in a tiara and gave her some high heels and said, just show the world how beautiful you are. So, and she is, and this record is fabulous. Tommy Potter on bass. Just a you know, a wonderful lineup of Tommy Flanagan's on piano on this record, Joe Jones on drums. It doesn't get any better than this. So I'm going to go off track a little bit here, folks, with a record that came out on World Pacific, which is a West Coast jazz label, which is jazz in form, but it's a Latin-based raver. It's Bobby Montez, to me a legendary vibes player and composer. Just did such freewheeling, beautiful, joyous music, harmonically beautiful. This record here is, you know, for collectors, aficionados, one that they are aware of, but it's very difficult to find. And I've had over the many years maybe 2-3 copies of this record, but it's a record that when you put it on, it is such a beautiful listen. It's such a feel-good record. They are swinging so hard. The percussion section is beautiful. I bring up this record because there are just so many threads to jazz and improvisational music, and everyone's voice is different for a different reason. This guy came from Mexico, grew up in Southern California, ended up in LA. So his reality is different. I mean, but again, he has the chops. He has, you know, he's worked his way through the means by which to express himself on the instrument in ways that he wants to. And when you hear this record, you realize that, you know, even a simple melodic motive that he's playing that is unique in and of itself is so valuable. So, and then with the percussion section and just the space and the way they're recorded, a magical record. So keep your eyes open, folks, for records like this. Everything doesn't have to be straight in the pocket, modern swing, bop, hard bop. Use your imagination and expand yourself, and you'll be even happier than you were from when you discovered jazz in the first place, because it's really about the truth. Everyone's truth is a little bit different.